Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to welcome you to next Industry 5.0 keynote speech. This time we will speak about the impact of Industry 5.0 on the education systems. My name is Mike Rada. I'm human and I'm the founder of Industry 5.0. And despite the fact that I do not have any academic education myself and started my career as a steel factory worker, I would like to start this presentation with the world famous formula E equal mc squared, which almost everyone in the world knows and connects with the name of Albert Einstein and physics, in which it means mass energy is equal to mass times the speed of light squared. But I just wonder, what will Albert Einstein say and what will be his comments if he will see that we realize that the same formula is applicable in other businesses as well and segments? I mentioned business and industries, so efficiency is equal management times competency squared. Economy is equal money times corruption squared. Environment is equal to man times competency squared. But we are here to speak about education. And education is equal to man times consistency squared. I do not believe that these words did not resonate with you. And what just happened was that you discovered one of the on-the-ground mines. The existing resources frequently overlooked because of professional blindness and the silos which has been created for professional blindness. Frequently we need just to understand that what's given is not given at all, and we have to understand that education is one of the most valuable industries in the world. So, does education use the on-the-ground mines properly? You know, I do not believe in coincidence because it is evolution. On February 10th, in Rio de Janeiro, hit the lighting the famous statue on the Sugar Hill. One day later, we received this image from Mars. And another day later, on the planet Earth, I was able to deliver 399th webinar to university students. And I did so despite the lack of my academic education, because the work of a simple man resonates all across the world. And before we continue, let me ask you two questions. The first is who we are, because we have many titles. We are managers, presidents, chairmen, students. We are producers. We are teachers, fathers and mothers. We collect many titles during our life, but with every single one we forget the most important one, that we are human beings, living ones, not like this man on County Art of Pilsen Brewery. And if we do realize who we are, let me ask you the second question. Where do we live? Because we live in beautiful cities like Rublet, like Pilsen, like Paris, Brussels, cities which we fill with trash. We work in factories and companies which produce in one day more trash than a city in a month. We produce products which frequently before reaching the end user become trash as well, and we store them in big metal houses, asking for more to be built, to store our waste inside. And at the end of our shift, we leave next to the output of our production and we arrive home. And there we maybe realize that something what was called food before is called bio-waste today. And we look at the red sky above our head, asking ourselves, where do we live? I will answer this question to you, and much more. What is Industry 5.0? Industry 5.0 is the first industrial evolution ever led by man, by human. It's built on principles of systematic waste prevention, and it recognizes and prevents 5 types of waste: physical, social, urban, processed, and the wasting of time. All of them can be prevented. And this is what Industry 5.0 principles do since 2013 already. We have mentioned that the E may stand for education. And education starts with the first enter into education system. But that's not right. Many things thought that education ends with the last day in education system, but that's false as well. Because there is a lifelong education existing, and this is why I use the term consistency in the formula. Because education is life, and at the moment we stop learning, we die. Maybe not on the physical level, but our brain stops to work the right way. There are many teachers all around us. The first one is the mother. And she is there to help us so long as she can. And sometimes, like in this case, she doesn't help her child only, but many others, because my mom spent her life as a kindergarten teacher. And there are others. We call them seniors. One of them was my granddad, who left a few months ago being almost 100 years young. And he spent all his life educating others. And the right teachers, the true teachers, have something in common. They deliver the wisdom through the power of touch, through the most powerful sense which we have been given by nature. We have created garage within Industry 5.0. It was developed in cooperation with the world's first Industry 5.0 ambassador, who was assigned on October 14th, 2020 in India. The garage consists of 2 terms in 2 languages. The first one is in Hindi, one of the oldest languages in the world, and means home. The second is in English, one of the most frequently used language in the world, and means time. And the Garage Academy means a place, and the meaning is much bigger because it's education. Education at the same place where the people can live. And this brings together the meaningfulness of life. The Garage Academy is a very special because it combines the theory with the practice. It's combined the day and night. It combined the young and old. It combined all of us together in one system which is respecting transparency, profit sharing, and efficiency. And it teaches everyone to live and to change the mindset from wasteful to wasteless. And so the wasteless world for all is being built. In Industry 5.0 and in education system, we have to go back to the roots, because we have to understand that we are living in the cities built by those who have left already. We are feeding ourselves thanks to the knowledge they collected. We are able to explain relations that never been explained before, and we are creating new tools thinking that they are better than the old ones. And we are repeating formulas, sometimes centuries old, with forgetting that we are living now and here. What is the existing reality? I was born on December 24th, 1971. At the time our planet was called Blue Marble, and it was beautiful. It was the jewel of the universe. But in 2019, the planet was not blue anymore. It was covered with environmental damage caused by smoke and more. But then something very strange happened. In 2020, the blue face of our planet showed up again before it disappeared again in 2021. It shows up not because we change intentionally our behavior, but because a virus locked us down. We are living on a planet around which we have been able in few decades create a global landfill with more than 170 million pieces of space debris. Smaller than 10 centimeters, 750,000 are 10 to 30 centimeters, and almost 100,000 are above 30 centimeters. And what we do to the planet itself? We dig inside, hunting for only criteria of success, which is more. More money, more houses, more power, more companies, more businesses, more cars, more. Ask Fortune 500 members how they get to the ladder. Ask Bill Gates, Elon Musk, Mike Bloomberg, and many others. We are living on a planet together with 8 billion people already, not knowing that 200 years ago it was just 1 billion, and 100 years ago it was just 1.5 billion, which means that despite of 2 world wars, 2 world pandemics, and more than 650 war conflicts, which happened since 1945, there is more than 5-fold people living on a planet. And in 2050 there should be 11 billion people living here. And just now, please remember the last image. We are living on a planet in 206 countries according to UN 193. We are speaking 7,000 languages. We are riding 1 billion cars, and we let 9 million people die hungry every single year, despite the fact that every single day more than 23 million metric tons of food and crop is being wasted globally. We let 800,000 people die thirsty, despite the fact that only California crude oil industry consumes every single day more than 347 million liters of drinking water. We plant our food to throw it away because the leaves are not green enough for the buyer in a chain store. We put our overproduction in a rivers and on a landfills not to spoil the market price. We carry our water in firefighting tanks, not knowing that the same amount of water is needed to produce just one and simple hamburger. And we do it on a planet on which one sip of water can save not one, but 2 lives. We work in factories which store their obsolete packaging on a parking lots for employees. waiting till it becomes trash. We work in factories which has walls lined with environmental certificates, and behind the wall the same company create a landfill. We throw away products which are not fine for one, but can serve hundreds and thousands of others. And we do it being supervised by the World Bank, which says that till 2050 the waste volumes will grow, despite the fact that almost everything can be reused or repurposed. In fact, only 13.5% is being repurposed. This is what makes the waste industry the third most profitable industry in the world. What we are aiming for, to be the nations of same looking, same thinking individuals, which has individuality left behind. Do we would like to be the part of the system which has no place for human? Do we want to build digital humans? There is aim of education. And this is to improve the ability to learn and to understand. The education system must wake up humans, not system components. Turn curiosity into driving force for development and create communication ability, not monologue. Strengthen society through knowledge transfer and cut addiction and dependency on technology. Very few knows how much waste is in a digital world. 85 to 90% of data stored in data centers are waste because they will be never used again. 75% to 85% of all images taken by mobile phones will be never used again. 95% of data collected by barcode scanners are not utilized. 75% of mobile phone users with a weather app in their device do not look outside of the window when they would like to check the weather, but on the screen. Electric shutdown, blackout, will result in permanent data loss. And I don't know how many of you knows that, for example, LinkedIn do not analyze posts older than 2 years, 2 months. We have made one big mistake. We try to build our future on the top of a pyramid, not realizing that the pyramid was not built for the living ones to live inside, but to store the corpses and dead bodies. I realized that back in 2010, and I decided to build another ground stone which is more stable, no matter how much the world or the economy will shake. And this is how it works. Firstly, you have to recognize that something must not become waste, and trust me, that's not an easy task. Second, it's even harder because you have to reconsider what you will do with the item which you just saved from being wasted. And then you will probably fail for the first, second, third time. But when you succeed, you will start to change the world. Dear ladies and gentlemen, teachers becoming presidents, Elpidio Quirino, Carlos P. Garcia, Barack Obama, Eleanor Roosevelt, Maria Montessori, or John Amos Comenius, who was born in 1592 and till today he is called the teacher of nations. And he was born just 300 kilometers away from a place from which I'm speaking to you right now. All of these teachers have one aim: to build humans by challenging education, no matter where, no matter when or who they were. The aim is the same, and not a single one of them consider that machine will educate humans better than the teacher. If the teachers go for presidents, they must rely on leaders which they grow up. It is important to understand and teach every single one the role of human in nature. The fact that the perfection of nature is imperfection. That smart is not wise. And that technology is a tool, but it should never rule above our lives. Education never ends and must be shared with all. And the education institute should have no walls, because the harmony is in unity. Teachers and students must communicate and co-create education content and lessons. Juniority and seniority in respect and acceptance will help to learn from each other. No theory, but the practice and theory together will deliver the results. In Industry 5.0, the leaders would be grown up as their role models, not because of the money or power they have. Material and economical sustainability from the start will help to grow up trajectory. Curiosity, creativity, openness, loyalty, and humanity are the principles to follow. And the Garage Academy graduates will have only one title: a human. Maybe you ask right now, what are the costs of this change? But the fact is, transformation is not a matter of cost, but a matter of will to change. Change of mindset from wasteful to wasteless. And the only question is if you would like to generate waste or profit. I prepared for the US President a calculation on how much money have a government spent to implement Industry 5.0 on a national level. And it showed up that the same price is applicable to every country in the world. It is $1 per citizen per year for duration of 10 years. Because preventing waste happen means breaking the silos. It let humans support the governments, but the governments must support humans. And again, it is important to cut the addiction on technology and power. I was asked many times, Mr. Rada, what is the value of global systematic waste prevention? Is there any value? The first time we spent 5 years to calculate the number. 475 trillion US dollars are the savings per year that can be generated. The number is already high, but it's not wallet anymore because it's higher. For the first time in human history, something the value over 1 quadrillion because of the war in Ukraine. The reason is that not a single bullet can be recovered and not a single human life will be rescued. Because all of that, I have spent 8 years to write a document which was never needed in a human history. Because never in the history humans and businesses wasted so much. It is the waste prevention legislation. Nothing that can be used or utilized again must become waste. Everything must be considered primary as a pre-waste existing resource and remain in the system. The secondary use or utilization is not limited to the primary function of a product or material and can be executed by everyone respecting the rules and regulations and safety conditions. Collecting, sorting, baling, and trade are not being considered anymore secondary utilization. And if not utilized on a primary location, it must be offered to others before being wasted. And dear ladies and gentlemen, please understand there is no waste if we do not waste. It may sound strange, but you can check. Not a single legislation in the world contains the definition how waste is being created, so it must be part of the framework. Because wasting is a process in which product or material of any kind, form and volume become waste. In fact, wasting is a system failure and must be prevented first without any limitation or legal restrictions. And understand, wasting is not a feature of a product or material, but a result of human behavior. And single use is one of the most common forms of wasting. Dear ladies and gentlemen, there are 5 waste categories. Physical waste, usually named trash. Social waste, which has many names, but should not exist. Urban waste, which represents the empty buildings and factories in cities in which people have no roof above their heads. And process waste, which shipping containers, more than 55% of those, all around the globe, filled just with air. And one very special waste, the wasting of time, in which we waste the most valuable asset we get to our life until it becomes the most wasted one in our life. Industry 5.0 is the first industrial evolution ever led by man, by human. It is a new mindset of people and businesses from wasteful to wasteless. It delivers results without the need of capital investment, and it's based on the principles of industrial upcycling or systematic waste prevention. It utilizes the existing on-the-ground mines, and it's based on transparency, profit sharing, and efficiency. And please understand one. Industry 5.0 is not a sales tool or a buzzword. It's a new global ecosystem. Dear ladies and gentlemen, we are living in the times of digitalization of our work. The children and students live in the times where from one day to another was the education digitalized. And our leisure times was digitalized long time ago, so it looks like that the only missing part to be digitalized is human himself. But if we do so, our world and our home will look like this. And that's not a mistake, because data don't need any light. I realized this more than a decade ago, and I decided I do not live on a bottom of a black hole. I will build another home, wasteless world, which looks like this. And don't worry, I'm not alone. My name is Michael Rada. I am human. And around me there are more than 111 ambassadors in 111 countries already, representing the waste prevention on a local level. And right now it's your time to decide in which world you would like to live and which education system you would like your children join, be part of, and spread. Thank you for your time. Have a nice day. Free of waste and wasting in all its forms. Stay safe and free. Bye-bye.